Welcome back to Heart of Carolina Perspectives. I'm Angela Hampton. This morning we're talking about one of the premier fundraisers in our area and the organization it supports. The 26th annual A Toast to the Triangle is next weekend in Raleigh. This is video from last year's Toast. It's a chance for people to sample food from the best restaurants in our region. It also gives local restaurants and caterers a chance to win bragging rights for best food or drink if they win one of the culinary awards at Toast. Last year, 1,200 people turned out and helped raise nearly $200,000 for the Tammy Lynn Center for Developmental Disabilities. And joining me now to talk about Toast in the Tammy Lynn Center is Mary Freeman. She's president and CEO. It's always good to see you. Also here, Craig Collard, who is the parent of a resident at Tammy Lynn, and David White, who is chair of the board of directors for the Tammy Lynn Center. Good to see you as well. Mary, let me start with you, because for those not familiar with the Tammy Lynn Center, let's give them a little bit of a history of you guys and what you do.
My pleasure. Well, Tammy Lynn Center is in its 42nd year. We began to come together in 1969. It was the vision of three families who wanted their children here in the community. And so we started in the basement of a Carey church as a Mother's Morning Out program. We then opened the residential program, and from there we've grown to serve more than 400 families and individuals across the year in residential services, day services, special education, before and after school care. We have a summer camp, an early childhood intervention program that serves babies in their homes, and a respite care program. Mm-hmm. So we have broadened our continuum to care for really a lot of very different needs across the Triangle.
Mm-hmm. And some of those needs are quite severe, right?
Indeed. We have for our intermediate care facility, which is on the campus, we have 3 homes there that serve 30 individuals with very complex medical issues. So we have a team of 25 nurses who care for very special needs around the clock.
Craig, your son Austin, as we mentioned, lives at Tammy Lynn Center. We have a picture of your family we'd like to show. And as we take a look at that, tell us about Austin and the care that he needs.
Austin's been in, I think, Tammy Lynn for 3 years now. Mm-hmm. And he is, as Mary had said, is fairly severe. Mm-hmm. He needs everything from bathing to putting clothes on and I think a lot of the trouble comes from lifting, mm-hmm. As the children get bigger, but and then also feeding. He's been on a feeding tube now for 4 or 5 years. So it got to a point for us as a family, it was just very, very difficult to take care of him ourselves. Mm-hmm. So.
And I guess were you aware of the Tammy Lynn Center at that point? How did you find out about it? And I guess the bigger question, what would you do if you didn't have it?
It's interesting. I moved here from Louisville, Kentucky about 11 years ago, and did become familiar just because I was in that, having a child with special needs, did find out about the Tammy Lynn Center. But it's an interesting question to ask, what would we do if it wasn't there? Because I think there's a lot of families out there that are maybe on that decision path of, do we continue to take care of our child, and can we do it, or do we put a child in a home? For me, it was the right decision. It was a very tough decision, mm-hmm. and we were talking a little bit before we got on the show. It's extremely difficult to leave your child. It's a very abnormal thing, but at the end of the day, I think it was the right thing for us as a family. I have 2 other children, younger, and it allows us to be able to take care of them as parents would want to. But Tammy Lynn does a phenomenal job, and it's good to know you can leave your child there and feel that they're getting the care that you would give them.
Right. So there's peace of mind in that decision.
Absolutely.
Certainly. Okay. David, your son has also received some services from Tammy Lynn. We've got a picture of you guys and your family too, Sloan. Tell us a little bit about him and how you got involved with the Tammy Lynn Center.
Well, to make what could be a long story fairly short, the day Sloan was born, a little over 12 years ago, he had some seizures that day and that evening that would proceed over the following months, and we were able to medically work through the seizures and work with them. And the older he got, 3-4 months of age, we were noticing that he wasn't tracking developmentally with the charts, and went in and had some tests done, and it turns out that Sloan has cerebral palsy, among other developmental issues. And as you can imagine, brand new parents, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know where we were going to be as a family. We didn't know what all this meant to Sloan. And sort of out of the blue, once that diagnosis took place, the Tammy Lynn Center just sort of descended upon us and our family, and through therapists and skilled people that could tell us, here's how we're going to work with Sloan, here's his potential, here's what you do to try to bring out that potential. It was a life-changing experience for us because we really didn't know what to do. And Sloan, is 12 years old, happy, walked to the school bus this morning. So, to your question a minute ago, what would you do without the Tammy Lynn Center? We don't know the answer to that question. There are a lot of really fine agencies out there, but the Tammy Lynn Center, I think what distinguishes it is it's just the breadth of services that it offers and how many different types of families that it can reach out and touch and affect.
Let's talk business for just a second. How do you pay the bills? And I don't know if you want to answer that or you want to answer that, Mary, because especially in a climate where, we're seeing so many cutbacks. How do you guys make this work?
Well, as a board member, I can say that I've witnessed the fact that we're getting less and less reimbursement from governmental agencies that we really depend on so strongly. And as that takes place, and you couple that with a different trend of rising costs to take care of people like Austin and Sloan and their families, we have to make that up, and we have to do it through private donations. And so that's why the Toast is so exciting, because it's a great chance to build to tell our story and to build our donor base of people that join us in our mission.
All right, Mary, so let's talk about Toast. And for those who haven't been before, what can they expect?
Well, it is the best party in town.
Yes, it is.
We're not we're not shy about that at all. But all of the best, as you were saying earlier, restaurants and caterers, bakeries and purveyors of fine beverages will come together and serve up their very best in a culinary competition that truly is mouthwatering and beautiful to behold. We'll be at the McKimmon Center, and if you've not experienced it, it certainly is a place you want to be on March the 6th. If you have experienced, you'll be back for a good time.
And real quickly, anything new or special people need to look out for this year?
Well, we're excited to have the purveyors into a competition this year. They wanted to compete as well, so our wineries and breweries will be competing for best in their categories. Our bakeries will be competing as well with the restaurants and caterers, so we're excited about that.
Very good. Well, I do want to give people more information about it because, like you say, it's the best party in town. You get to sample all this amazing food in one place, find your favorites, and then there's some great auction items, too. So,
indeed.
Thank you guys so much for being here. We wish you the best. Let's show people how they can get more information. It is the 26th annual A Toast to the Triangle, Sunday, March 6th from 6 until 8:30 in the evening at the McKimmon Center. That's on the NC State campus on Gorman Street in Raleigh if you haven't been. Tickets are $100. Again, you get to sample food from at least 25 different wonderful restaurants like the Angus Barn, Harris, many, many more. To buy tickets, all you have to do is go to toasttothetriangle.org, and to learn more about the Tammy Lynn Center, you can go to tammylynncenter.org. ABC 11 is a proud sponsor. I am delighted to be serving as honorary chair again this year, and I will be sampling plenty of the wonderful things that are there. Steve Daniels from Eyewitness News is going to be there with his wife serving as a food judge, so look out for him as well if you go. If you need more information about this program and other community events in the heart of Carolina, go to abc11.com and click on Community. And while you're there, check out my blog, Connecting